Shooting this video is going to be a little hard, partially because of the diesel motorhome just sitting there next to me. But that's okay, I guess. So in the last video on this you saw, I had discovered that it had a bent push rod. Well, the lawnmower shop up the road from me had the push rod, and I went ahead and I put it in. And then I had some problems, and I still have some problems. And spark plug is a little wet, but overall not too bad. I have a solar charger on the battery right now because, you know, it's kind of hard to get stuff out here. So I need to take the spark plug out, and then I need to take the valve cover off. And you'll see why in a little bit. I've had this valve cover off like 4 times. I think if I have to take it off again, I'm gonna have to get a I'll have to get a gasket for it, but the gasket's still pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick this push rod lengthwise into the cylinder. And then, oh, you can't do that with this one. Okay, so that's top dead center with both valves closed. So then what I need to do is take, I think it's the T20, and I gotta loosen this nut up here. Well, not a nut, it's a set screw. And because there's a lot of play, I'm gonna have to pull that set screw way out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them both to 7,000, which is, you know, right when there's just a slight amount of drag. I'm going to leave that in there. I'm going to take my wrench so I can hold it in there. You don't want it tight, you want it just a little bit of drag. And I kind of wish I had a different style of Torx bit right now. Yeah, I need one more hand. What I'll do is I'll hold the wrench and like I said, you don't want it to be tight, you want it just a little bit of drag, and then tighten it up. Yeah, it's funny, as I used these in a scene on a lawnmower video, or a computer video yesterday, but I didn't even, I ended up taking that part of the video out. These are really, really loose. No wonder this thing doesn't want to run. I might have messed, like I said, I might have messed up the valve adjustment when I did it. I thought it was at top, I might have thought it was at top dead center, but it wasn't. Also, I wasn't really using a wrench to hold the outside, because you have a nut. The nut is what actually does the adjustment, and then you have the Torx screw inside. There's a set screw, and there's a certain torque spec for it, but I'm not too worried about that because you don't want it to loosen back up. So now what we need to do is we need to see what was happening was after I did this, it wouldn't crank anymore. So I'm going to go behind you. I don't have the spark plug hooked up. Alright. So let's hook spark plug up. And I don't want to run it too long because you can see there's oil coming out. But I want to try cranking it one more time. See? Alright, so I've warmed it up a little bit. And boy, there is some oil dumping on the exhaust right now. And these have gone a little loose. Well, this one has gone like super tight. Oh, I'm not on TDC. So I'll take the spark plug back out. Now it's got some heat in her. And I've blasted oil all over my tool bucket. Ah, man. So we'll take it to the limit. And we'll bring it back up to TDC. Now my dad had sent me a different spec, and I think I'm going to try his, because I'm going by what's in the he says 6 on the intake and 8 on the exhaust. Well, I don't think I have a 6. I only have a 7, and I was doing it at a 7. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, there's an 06. And the lower is the intake. And that one is rather loose right now. So 6 and 6 and 8. So we'll go, so that's way loose. So we'll take this one. And I gotta be careful not to lose any oil here too. So you want just the slightest amount of drag. By the way, these are a little warm already. So I'll leave that there. And then I wish I had a regular, I mean I do, I just don't have it with me. Do I have a T20 in that? No, of course the smallest is a T27. No, I want to readjust that. Because he did tell me that you're really supposed to do this warm. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to do it warm when the engine doesn't even crank? Because you saw that that resistance I had, right? Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting for you to answer like you're actually sitting next to me. Alright, and then that just seems so loose. And then 8, right? So who is... Like, people know I'm working on stuff, but yet they are constantly trying to get in touch with me. I might want to look at the other one I have. I have another feeler gauge set, and I want to make sure that this Harbor Freight one is actually reliable. Oh, I know what it's missing. And I'm going to need to be right back, because this would explain a lot. I'll explain it when if I can get these parts today. All right, so my progress got halted by needing a part. So when I was saying that there was something missing, it's hard to explain. I'll show you a picture, but there's a cap that goes on the end of the valve stem, and that's what holds, or that's where the crap, my brain just stopped on me. But that's what the rocker arm rides on. So by nobody has them in stock. Nobody local, at least. So they're on order. They're going to be coming in. They'll arrive, she said, Wednesday. Wednesday, I'll still be in New York. So all this is in the past. But you know, when you get this video, or when this video comes out, it'll, you know, I'll already have them. But that's why. But that's where most of my problem is coming from. So, you know, that's what we're gonna do. So anyway, I will see you when I have parts. All right, I apologize. I'm gonna go handheld here. Well, actually, not really handheld. I have a selfie stick mounted to the bottom of my camcorder. Now, I've known from the beginning with this mower here that this is not the original engine, because he told me it is not the original engine. The original engine was a 17.5 horse Briggs IC industrial commercial engine, and the one that's on it is a 16 horsepower. Not a big deal. It didn't bother me at all. And I want to make sure that's not okay. I thought that was leaking. So I've said before that I find it really interesting, like with all these ones over here. Eventually you figure out, why did somebody stop using the mower? Or why did like, even when I do computer videos, why did somebody stop using it? Sometimes it's because it's old and they want something new. Sometimes they do something really screwed up. So he had told me that the original engine had an oil leak. He didn't realize it was leaking because he didn't see any drips or anything, and that, you know, it put a hole in the block. Okay, you know, makes sense. And he had this one laying around, so he put it on there, and he was using it, and then one day it just stopped running. I'm like, all right, well, the price I'm paying for it, I know I can get $350, $400 for this mower without blinking an eye. So, yeah, whatever, no big deal. So, you know, and we found the parts, or we found the bent push rod, which was that right there. So that alone, so that threw me into a different zone. I got a new push rod, and then the part that you just watched before this, I realized these were missing. These go on the end of the valve stem, And that's what the push rod pushes. Oh no. My tools aren't here. I just realized that my tools are at home. I'm not going to be able to do this today. Or maybe I can. Actually, you know, I have those tools. I can go get a replacement set of, I'll be fine. So I had to run out. So these are what actually push on the valve. And I didn't notice that they were missing at first. And what that'll do is that'll change the ratio that the rocker arm, you know, does that to push the valve. And, you know, I looked all around, you know, where I pulled the valve cover off. Maybe I dropped them. You know, I'm thinking maybe I dropped them down here. Maybe I dropped them on the ground. No, I didn't. So I think he had this engine. He put it on there, couldn't get it running, and then he decided to sell it because he can't get it running. You know, because he couldn't figure out what the problem was. And then the other part that I didn't show you is over here. I personally, this was me, I lost one of these black push rod guides. And the only way you can get it is with the plate. And the plate assembly push rod guide. There we go. It was only $6. And then these were about $6 a piece. So, oh no, I'm in this about $18, $20, you know. It's like $6 and some like change each, and then like $6.80 something for whatever. No, these were the valve caps were $6.33 online, and then they were you know, plus shipping, and she charged me $6.99. I got them locally. And same thing with that, it was like $6.83. It was like 20-some bucks. But let me go get the two tools I need, and I'll be right back. Sorry, I had the PDF on my phone, so I had to. So the exhaust is going to be 8/1000 of an inch, which is going to be this one right here. And so you don't want, again, like, oh, that would have been bad. The 9 was right behind it. Glad I caught that. Alright, so again, you don't want this to be super duper tight. You want it to be a little bit of drag. And not that kind of drag. Get your mind out of the gutter. So then I'm going to hold this. Now there is a proper torque spec for this. I don't have a torque wrench that goes that low. And honestly, you just need to make sure it's really good and tight. And so then we need to do we need the 6,000th for the other one. And oh yeah, I need to pop that plastic clip. Basically the push rod goes through this and it will touch it. So you'd rather it touch the plastic, I guess, is the point. I don't really know. If I'm being 100% honest with y'all. But it's supposed to be there, so I'm putting it there. I thought that it would be like dead center in there, but it really isn't. So, and this guy here, I can't believe it took me this long to realize that that was missing. So the intake is going to be 6 thousandths. That's just a little bit of drag. And I'm trying to decide if I want to start it without the valve cover on like I did last time, or just go ahead and do it. Let me make sure. So by the way, this is a 10 millimeter nut and a T20. Wait, hold on. You know what, that needs to be a little tighter. I think when I put the wrench on there, I might have moved it a little. So you want just a hair of drag on it. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to button it back up. I'm going to put the valve cover on one more time with the old gasket, and we're going to try cranking it. You've seen me put this together a lot of times, so I'm just going to shut the camera off now, and when I'm ready to fire it up, I'll go ahead and turn the camera back on. All right, everything's buttoned up. Got in choke. Runs good. Now you may have noticed some smoke. In fact, it's still smoking a little bit. But remember I ran it without the valve cover on it, and oil went all over the exhaust. So now I ran it for probably about 3 or 4 minutes off camera, and I was talking to my dad about it a little bit, and I just want to make sure. Because if you remember, I got it to run that one time, and then it wouldn't crank again because it was stuck. But now, man, she cranks perfect every time. Yeah, this thing runs like a top, man. I want to get it cleaned up. I'm going to take it to the car wash on my way home. Normally I do this at home, but I'm going to go ahead and power wash like I normally just do it with a hose. That's why I clean some crap off the carburetor. I want to make sure that's not actually leaking. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook the trailer to my truck. I'm going to back it off of here and make sure everything functions. And I'll take you guys along for the ride too. Alright, so it's all loaded up. Hood's back on it. And load up on the trailer, getting ready to strap it up. Take it home. Get it cleaned up and sold. But first, I have a computer video to record, which you guys will probably see that first. I don't know, we'll see how I feel like changing up my schedule. So anyway, thanks for watching, have a blessed day, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.